So again, our topic is about lambda calculus. I hope that you would pay more attention for this topic because slightly slightly complicated siya if murag first time pa nimo ma-encounter. Okay. So lambda calculus, it was introduced by Alonzo Church in the 1930s during his investigation on the foundations of mathematics. It is mostly used for formalism during that time until the 1960s, where its uses gained recognition in the field of linguistics and computer science. Okay, so yeah, as you can notice, ang foundation gyud or ang basis gyud sa lambda calculus and even computer science in general is mathematics gyud. Ano siya ng pabutang diri. So dili gina nato mabuwag or ma-separate ang computer science and mathematics. Also, nakabutang diri, lambda calculus has many applications including linguistics and computer science. So what is lambda calculus? Okay, so lambda calculus is a way to describe functions and programs in a mathematical manner. It is a model of computation that can simulate Turing machines. So, di ba, computer scientist man mo, or ta, we always program. And then, kanang programs nga atong ginabuhat, actually, it can be described mathematically through lambda calculus. Okay, so here's parang relationship of lambda calculus and programming languages. So take a look lang at these examples. So here na ako'y JavaScript na code. Basically, it's a function that takes x as an input and then multiplies x by itself. Okay? Measure power, ano? No. Square di ay square. Sorry. It's square. Na-square di mo ang x by itself. X times x. Okay. So again, this is an example of a JavaScript code which takes x as an input and multiplies x by itself. If sa Python ni nato siya i-write, so this would look like this. So again, natay x nga input sa atong function and then we multiply x by itself. Okay. Next, what if we write it on scheme? If nag-start na mo answer sa katong challenge problems, so ma-familiar na mo gamay aning scheme nga language. But basically, scheme is just another programming language na functional ang iyang paradigm. So you define your function like this. So naa kay input nimo ang x or imong argument sa imong function is x and then it multiplies x by self. Take note nga ang multiplication nga operand kay pinakauna siya. Wala siya diri, di ba? It's not here. So mo lang na siya ang parang mark difference ani nga programming language. So again, it takes x as an input and multiplies x by itself. Iya ding i-return ang iyahang result. So kung iparan ni nato siya, kung iparan ni nato itong code, you can see here, okay, so here's an example of running this JavaScript na code with the input na 123. So, unsa may nahitabo ani? So, basically, kaning 123, nahimo na siyang input diri sa x, okay? And then, after that, ang x or ang 123, na-replace na siya diri. Then change condition you have. And then you multiply it. So 123 times 123 is equal to 15,129. Questions about this? So this is just an example code in JavaScript and Python. They all do the same thing, which is take x as an input and multiply x by itself. What if we write this in Lambda Calculus? So in Lambda Calculus, it would look like this. Okay, so you have x as an input. Muna siya ang head, bali. Head sa imong function. Okay. And then, kato, naka-input nga x. And then, this is your body, which multiplies x by itself. Okay. So again, these are all the same. They do the same thing, but lahi lang ang ilahang notation. So, akong balik ko na para sa katong mga bago pa ni join. This is basically just a function. This is a function sa JavaScript na programming language which takes x as an input and then multiplies x by itself. Sa Python, this is also a Python function which takes x as an input and multiplies x by itself. Same with the scheme na programming language. Naka-input nga x, naka-input nga x, and then i-multiply ra nimo ang x by itself. So kung ato na siyang i-write into Lambda Calculus, gani yung form. Okay? So this is parang head, then period, body. Body sa imong expression. Questions about this? Questions? Wala? Okay. Let's proceed. Okay. So Lambda Calculus terms. How Lambda Calculus terms are built. So here are some rules on building Lambda Calculus terms. So we have x, which is considered na a variable. So a variable is a character or string representing a parameter. Representing a parameter or mathematical or logical value. So pwede nyo siya ma-A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever nga imong gusto gamiton. Parehas sa gid ka nang mag-program mo. Di ba kung mag-program mo kay pwede naman na bisan unsa nga letters ang inyong variables. So ingana ra gyapon sa Lambda Calculus. You can choose whatever letters or symbols ang imong gamiton for your variables. Okay. Next, we have abstraction. So abstraction is the function definition. Okay. The variable x becomes bound in the expression. So basically, ang abstraction kay muna na siya ang functions sa imong program. Like for example, na kay Python nga program, def foo. So this is Python, return x times x. Okay? So kung sa lambda pa ni siya nga notation, ang yang abstraction ani kay may mo siyang lambda x dot multiply x by itself. Yan na. So ang function abstraction kay always gina siya mag-start aning lambda nga symbol. Okay, so ang lambda nga symbol kay kani siya. Kani murag nabaling nga y. Ang murag gina siya. Kung nagani kay lambda nga symbol pasabot ana kay muna siya murag na siya function sa imuhang program. Next is application, applying a function to an argument. So na naman kay na naman kay function, di ba? Like naka-define naka-function sa imong programming language bale. After ana, unsa may imong buhaton sa imong function? Di ba mag-provide man ka og input sa imong function Like for example, nakay function nga sum x, y. Okay? So this is just mura ni siya abstraction. Abstraction. If mag supply na ka og values sa imuhang kanang input or kaning sa imong function, kay mo na siya atong gitawag nga application. So say for example, niing kag sum 1, 2. This is already application. Okay? So again, kung mag-define ka sa imong function, define lang, that's called abstraction. If imo nang murag i-evaluate ang imong terms or abstractions, then that's already called application. Kung kay mo naman siya mag-provide na ka og values for your function. So another example later na lang. Okay. Questions about this? Wala? Okay. Next. Sige. Here's an example of a lambda expression or lambda nga term kini diri sa ubos. So, what do you think dire ang variables? Mili ko. Raymark? Is Raymark there? Hello? Raymark? Is among other people? Ay magkaulaw. Asa man dire, which of these things here do you think are variables?
X sir og ang Y.
Okay, that's correct. So, atong variables are x and y. Okay? Wala siya atong variables. Okay, very good. Because again, ang variables na to kay a character or string representing a parameter or mathematical or logical value. Okay, next. Asa man diri ang atong abstraction? Rowena? Hello? Rowena Cavales? Can you hear me? Hello? Dugan ako. Which do you think here is the abstraction? So again, atong abstraction kay mag-start og lambda nga symbol. And then naa siya parenthesis na opening and then mo end siya og closing nga parenthesis.
Sulod sa parenthesis, sir.
Okay. So, ang atong abstraction is this one. Okay? So again, based lang sa pattern na to, ang atong abstraction kay magsugod sa lambda nga symbol naa din siya sa iyang head or iyang ulo na siya kani it can be any number of variables na din tay period and then after sa period is another murag terms na to, another set of terms. Okay, that's correct. Next. Asa man diri ang atong function application? Okay, so this is a bit tricky. So actually, ang nakabutang man diri sa atong definition or description, ang application kay kuan daw kuno. Lambda nga terms, imong gitapad, kibali. So, mo ni siya nakabutang. M and N are lambda terms. So actually, duha ka buk ang atong function application diri. If you can remember, kaning x kay variable, di ba? Kani pong x kay variable. And then, variables are terms. So, pasabot ani, kani siya, kani as a whole, this is an application. Okay? Another example. Kaning y is a variable. variable. Kani siya kay so x is a variable. Kani x is a variable. And then variables are lambda terms, di ba? So pasabot ana, kani siya nga whole expression, it is an application. Okay? Next. Y is a variable. And then kani siya, if you can remember, this is an abstraction. Then abstraction is a term, 'di ba? Therefore, kani siya as a whole is an application. Ngana lang. I hope that's clear. Naay questions about this? Anyone? Wala? Okay.